Y'all come look at this.
Legendary helper here.
AKA, they canceled him. AKA, Mr. Persona non grata. Here in full effect.
With a little help. Whether you ask for it or not, it's cool. Thank me later. Now, if you think I'm bullshit, just look up the case on the screen.
423 CV 01013, USDC, Southern District of Texas, Houston Division.
Very good. Very good. You know something? No!
Money.
You!
Gather around, boys and girls. Hey, consider this another good faith attempt at addressing what has been taking place as it relates to organized harassment, gang stalking, controlled schizophrenia down here in South Florida. Check out this episode of Storytime, where the harassment takes place while working. I reported this to the EEOC as well as the FDOT to no avail. Anyway, it's cool.
Please pardon my back. Now, when it comes to specifics as to what the organized harassment apparatus is doing out there on the streets, you have example number 1, blinkering, or in layman's terms, bright car headlight harassment. Take some time to look at the picture, and you'll understand precisely what I'm trying to convey. The second organized harassment, controlled schizophrenia, gang stalking tactic that has been used against me is car exhaust noise harassment. Now, this is done to make you hastily move along, to encourage, if you will, you to get up out of there, to leave, to move erratically. Now, this can get dangerous because if you move erratically out there on the roads, you can possibly get into an accident. That's why if I'll recommend anything to anybody going through this is to have a certain amount of poise. And always maintain that poise. Which, to be clear, is not an easy task when you have to deal with headlight harassment. Specifically one headlight harassment. There are inordinate amount of vehicles strangely on the road with one headlight working. This is a psychological psyop tactic, if you will, that has been used against me by the city of Miami or whoever else is associated with the organized harassment apparatus in South Florida, which entails Miami-Dade County as well, and the various municipalities. The fourth tactic that has been used to torture me, which, by the way, they're all illusory, but the illusory rear-view mirror fear harassment tactic. And this one's pretty self-explanatory. Just take a look at the picture. The fifth torture tactic is what I like to call illusory side view mirror fear harassment. Now, this one, as well as blinkering along with rear view mirror harassment, the solution is to adjust your mirrors to the extent that you are not going to be really seeing those major headlights blinkering and flashing behind you while driving. Now, the thing about this is that it kind of lulls you into a false sense of security to a certain extent, because you're not as concerned as to what is happening behind you, which is a good lesson for life, if we're talking theoretically and whatnot. But you gotta always be on point, and so you're being effectively inhibited from practicing a sense of vigilance because these individuals are using this strategy. So it kind of opens you up to a scenario where something can be done to you because you were made numb to the notion of paying attention to your environment. And then you have the dark window tint fear harassment strategy, which is where there, again, are an inordinate amount of vehicles with extremely dark front windshields, or overall, all their mirrors are extremely dark. And you might think that this is some kind of undercover, but usually that's not the case. Per the research I've done, these are just individuals that have been allowed to, by the organized harassment apparatus, to have these tints. And they are notorious for making quick U-turns as you're walking. You get a quick U-turn in front of you. And again, it's to induce fear, anxiety. That's the sixth torture tactic that has been used against me. Now, the seventh is weird as These folks follow you around, sometimes several vehicles lined up, one behind the other. It doesn't matter if you're going speed limit, they're just going to ride behind you. Again, in an attempt to make you feel awkward. And this is a shaming tactic, a tacit shaming tactic. Finally, number 8 is a specific torture tactic, but it also represents the overall illusory street theater aspect of this psyop. Because really it's nothing more than theatrics. But you're perplexed that your rights are being stomped on, usually with a wink and a nod. It just doesn't make sense, because you're like, well, this is still America. But again, when you have the individuals that collude with one another to look the other way with the expectation that they won't be held accountable because no one is going to be there to corroborate what took place. And also for me to be rendered crazy by this organized harassment initiative, so that whatever I say, it becomes almost automatically wrong or a lie or something that isn't credible. The solution that I found is to document the incidents that occurred in real life on the internet, and then legally protect it by either copywriting or trademarking some sort of media project overall that can be a conditional record, so to speak, just in case the entities that control the internet assist in shutting you down to further take away from your credibility. I'll leave the incident where it's at, and then whatever monies are lost or paid out will be added on to the damages that will be assessed later down the line.
So this was everything that was used against me, for the most part, while I was working for a company that provides free rides. I'll just leave it at that. But check out the videos. I tried, man.
Yo, it ain't so bad. Just cruising around, literally going in circles, having fun, getting paid for it. I ain't true.
A few moments later.
The only way that organized harassment, aka gangstalking, can be effective is by controlling who you interact with in a way to impact your energy, your aura, if you will. So for me, what it has amounted to is pretty much situations where I'm feeling real good, doing my thing, moving and grooving, great day, right? And then all of a sudden, one left strange interaction, maybe a dirty look from someone, right? You're like, you know what, whatever, man, that's on you. You can have your bad day, I'm having a good day. I've decided to choose happiness, right? But then you end up running into somebody else that comes along with a little bit of negativity, sprinkle it in your general area, general surroundings. And then you start having the lights, the bright lights, and it's 2 o'clock. Individuals with vehicles driving around with their lights on, all of a sudden in a pursuit sort of manner, as if they're in hot pursuit, that is. So it's the weirdest thing, man. I mean, again, I don't know who else to alert at this point, but I'm in Coconut Grove doing my thing, and I wanted to capture this moment. I'll continue to capture every moment, but I'm in this area doing my thing, working, progressing, then having to deal with this garbage every once in a while. And I think what sucks is there's a component that has made it, women, my interactions aren't usually the greatest, especially with black women. It's the one and only, the legendary helper, aka all day, every day. These are my trials and tribulations, me documenting organized harassment, aka gang stalking, and everything I've been going through. You see, I'm working for a company, as you can see, their name is right here. And since I started flourishing, been here for about a week or so, doing my thing, getting props. It's almost spiritually too, they talk about these things about the attack that comes, the storm that comes, every time you start shining, right? The brightness in you starts shining. Anyway, what these folks are doing is they're trying to attack me through disorientation. You see, they get you disoriented in various different ways, various mechanisms to attempt to accomplish this. But today it came to a head in the weirdest way possible. As you can see, there's a couple vehicles here. There's this vehicle, it is number 31. I hope we can see that. This is 31, right? That's 31. This one right here is 87. When we come into work, we have to log into this tablet right there. I hope you saw that tablet. Let's see, there's a tablet there, right? Down the middle. So the tablet shows you the section that you're at in terms of the area, and then it shows you what vehicles are active in your area. For some reason, this morning, one of the vehicles that was listed does not appear and is not at this area. It was one of those things where, again, if you're moving too fast, with all the stimulus that's applied to you, it becomes so overwhelming to the extent where you start making the wrong decisions. And obviously, as I'm speaking the truth to power here, you're hearing the exhaust get revved up. Here comes another coward trying to come with his headlights on, per usual. You know how it go, like they scaring something, right? Anyway, so I came and I caught this, and I don't know if it's through my employer, meaning directly through the individuals that own FreeBee, or if it's employees within the FreeBee chain of command, so to speak, that decided to do this. But they put the wrong car, and I imagine it's in an effort to try to get me to choose the wrong thing so I can, and that made me look crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's all they doing. Here we go right now. As you can see, boy right there, he like popping clutches. That license plate. And it's always with the support law enforcement license plates. That's the best they can do. I'll let them finish. I'll let them finish. It's always with the support law enforcement license plates that these cowards think that they sort of can go around trying to bully individuals. And that's what they do. They disorientate you or get you disoriented to the point where you just can't function. And that hasn't happened. And the problem is, again, because I keep calling it out, at what point does some sort of semblance of law and order or enforcement come out and say, hey, you can't do that? They're allowing them to do it. In fact, they're working in concert with them. You can see there's police officers. They're still trying to enact the gangstalking on the streets by driving and turning on their lights. All that is for the birds. Already, it's pretty obvious what they're doing on the streets. But the other part, when you got individuals that are actually doing it, you would think somebody would call it so that nobody gets hurt. But they ain't saying nothing. Because again, it would appear as if they want your boy to give violence. And look, usually you hear the loud exhaust and all that. A lot of times it's little kids, they making it be out to be a game, but it's some real consequences behind it, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, from an employee standpoint, which I try my best to be cordial with these dudes, man. I sent them an email and told them about this organized harassment stuff to no avail, no response. And it would appear now that they are currently involved in the organized harassment. Came in this morning, it was all over the place. Recognize, but what are you gonna do? Again, all I can do is capture it, and then at some point, somebody's gonna have to answer. Their game now is to constantly bombard me with all this extra that's happening. But again, we've already bypassed that. Once you've reached a certain level of calm and peace, you don't go back, you know what I'm saying? So why trip over all the other shit? I've already accomplished those hurdles. I've already jumped over those hurdles. I ain't tripping off none of that. Now it's just a matter of, damn. So if y'all complicit, other one right here, you want to be a clutch popper too. There you go right there. You know what I'm saying? And look at the license plate. As usual. Out of nowhere, try to make all that noise, right? Just the hate. I ain't tripping. But I'm gonna call it out. But I'm gonna have all I've gathered, it falls in various individuals' laps, so to speak. And so the fact that they're not doing anything speaks to their contribution to this organized harassment. To point out how, even while working, because again, their goal is to have me not working and inevitably end up on the streets maybe and not be successful. But whatever I touch turns into gold, humbly speaking. But here I am at another portion of my life where they thought that I wouldn't be able to work for some reason or another. Complete cowardice. Down here in South Florida, Coconut Grove to be specific. So we're gonna document it. You're gonna see what happens, you know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, we're just gonna stay positive, man. When you accomplish, when you have that internal sense of peace and motivation, that's what drives you. All the other outside noise, you know what I'm saying? So if they want attention, they usually don't get it, quite frankly, but sometimes I'll point it out. And maybe the attention that they want, maybe you guys can provide it for them. Maybe society, maybe at some point they get the attention that they truly deserve. You dig? Anyway, look up case number 423 CV01013, USDC, Southern District of Texas, Houston Division. That's once again, case number 423 CV01013, USDC, Southern District of Texas, Houston Division. Organized harassment taking place in South Florida Coconut Grove. This is the one and only, the legendary Helper. It's April of 2024. It's been happening for about 2 years now. But it's all good. I ain't going out like the other dudes. But yo, they did this to Myron May, and I suspect they did this to Arthur Teal. You dig? That's just scratching the surface. So find out how far this goes, man. I'ma hold them accountable. You dig? I love you. Peace. Yeah.
Let this one speak for itself on the record. Gia.
I come alive, it's your choice. You decide if you're ready, we can slide. Cause we got one night to make it last forever. I can't explain the feeling that I treasure. It seems like we were meant to be together. So let's embrace the mood, cause we ain't got no pressure. Dance with you tonight. Let's make a change. The time is right. No matter what is on your mind, forget the past and live your life.
Subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because we're still trying to be the best that we can be. We still trying to show love and help where we can. You heard? Hopefully you do the same. I'ma holler back.